Chapter 1. A New Journey. Hanamichi Sakuragi had a natural talent for the game, and his impressive physique made him a force to be reckoned with on the court. However, after a back injury forced him to take a year off from playing, Sakuragi felt like he had lost his edge. Despite his rehabilitation, he still wasn't playing at the level he knew he was capable of. He was determined to get back to his former self and decided that the best way to do that was to take his game to the next level. And so, without telling anyone, Sakuragi packed his bags and headed to Chicago. He had heard about the city's thriving street basketball scene and was eager to get in on the action. When he arrived in Chicago, he was immediately struck by the sheer size of the city. It was nothing like the small town he had come from in Japan. The streets were bustling with activity, and the sound of car horns and sirens filled the air. Despite the overwhelming atmosphere, Sakuragi was undeterred. He made his way to a local park where he had heard that some of the best street basketball players in the city gathered to play. When he arrived, he was greeted by a group of players who were skeptical of the newcomer. They had never seen an Asian player before, and they didn't think that he would be able to hold his own on the court. Sakuragi was used to being underestimated, and he was determined to prove them wrong. He took to the court and started playing with a fierce intensity, determined to show the players in Chicago what he was capable of. As he played, Sakuragi felt like he was rediscovering his love for the game. He was in the zone, and his shots were finding their mark. The other players were taken aback by his rapid improvement and quickly realized that they had underestimated his learning ability and tremendous talent. Chapter 2. A New Challenge. Over the next few weeks, Sakuragi became a regular at the park, playing in games every day and getting to know the other players. Despite his success, he still felt like he was missing something. He was playing at a high level, but he wasn't pushing himself to reach his full potential. And so, Sakuragi decided to set himself a new challenge. He would spend the next 2 years playing in the street basketball scene in Chicago, working on his skills and pushing himself to be the best player he could be. Sakuragi was determined to take his game to the next level, and he worked tirelessly every day, practicing his shots and developing new moves. He was a fierce competitor, and he refused to lose. He quickly gained a reputation as one of the best players in the city, and he was soon sought after by other players looking to play against him. Despite the challenges that he faced, Sakuragi never lost his love for the game. He was always eager to learn and improve, and he took every opportunity to do so. He was a student of the game, watching every game he could and studying the players who inspired him. Chapter 3. A New Skill. One day, Sakuragi was playing in a game against a particularly skilled opponent. The player had an impressive jump shot, and Sakuragi was struggling to defend against it. However, he was determined to find a way to stop his opponent. In a moment of inspiration, Sakuragi remembered a move that he had seen in a game he had watched a few weeks prior. It was a fadeaway shot, executed by a player who was known for his exceptional flying skills. The player would jump up for the shot, then fade away from the defender to get enough space for the shot. Sakuragi was determined to try the move himself, and he spent hours practicing it. At first, it was difficult, and he missed more shots than he made. But he was relentless in his pursuit, and with time and practice, he started to perfect the fadeaway shot. Soon, the fadeaway shot became Sakuragi's signature move. He would use it in games to great effect, leaving defenders bewildered and unable to stop him. The other players in the street basketball scene took notice, and they started to spread the word about the talented player from Japan who was making a name for himself in Chicago. Chapter 4. A New Recognition. 2 years had passed since Sakuragi arrived in Chicago, and he was now a well-known figure in the street basketball scene. He was known for his impressive skills and his fierce determination, and he was respected by other players for his talent and his work ethic. One day, Sakuragi received an invitation to try out for the Chicago Bulls, one of the biggest NBA teams in the country. He was overjoyed at the opportunity and quickly accepted. The tryout was intense, and Sakuragi was up against some of the best players in the country. But he was determined to make the most of the opportunity, and he brought his A-game to the court. The scouts were impressed by Sakuragi's skills and his fierce determination, and they were blown away by his fadeaway shot. When the tryout was over, the Bulls decided to draft him as the 10th pick in the NBA draft. Sakuragi was elated when he heard the news. He had worked so hard to get to this point, and he was finally being recognized for his talent and his hard work. As he walked off the court, he turned to the crowd and shouted, "I'm a genius." Epilogue. Hanamichi Sakuragi went on to have a successful career in the NBA, becoming one of the top players in the league. He was known for his amazing physical ability and determination, and he was respected by fans and players alike for his love for the game. Sakuragi never forgot his roots and the lessons he learned playing street basketball in Chicago. He was grateful for the experience and for the opportunity to take his game to the next level. And he was always happy to tell the story of how he went from being a young player from Japan to a top NBA player, all because of his love for the game and his determination to succeed.